Hi everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of our Belle by Choice Facebook live chat. And on today, we have an amazing speaker in the house who'll be sharing light on the role of parental guidance in teenage reproductive health education. And and just before we start, we just wanted to have a clear of what who our speaker is. So I don't know if Sir, can you just unmute so you could just say hi to our people before we start?
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. It's an honor to be here, definitely.
All right. Yeah, thank you for joining, sir. Thank you for coming on the call. Yeah. Okay, so we are not going to be taking much time for today's show. So if you're joining from any axis you're joining in from, we just want you to feel free to drop your question at the chat box, and then we're going to be taking the questions after the section. Yeah, so when we talk about the role of parental guardian in teenage reproductive health education, I believe a lot of us, one thing that will come, that various things have been coming through our minds even right now as we listen. So before we start, we just want to take a few minutes to say a very big thank you to our amazing partners. So we're Okay, so want to say a very big thank you to African Women Development Fund. We're saying a very big thank you to UNFPA, DKT International
Nowadays,
Nigeria.
today.
Hello. Okay, so we're saying thank you to those who have made has made this virtual space. Live chat works. It's usually not an easy one, for we know without them, of course, age alone cannot do this. So it's been made possible through their endless support, and they've actually been our backbone all the way. So we're saying a very big thank you to them for making this work. Cross River State Ministry of Health, UNFPA, Cross River State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Women for Women Alliance, Gilead, Women for Women First Digital, Global Fund for Women, and African Women Development Fund. Thank you so much for your amazing support. Thank you. And we want to lastly say a thank you to DKT International Nigeria. It has been your support that has made this um, space is a successful one all through. Yeah, thank you so much. And then I am also using the opportunity to thank my amazing colleagues joining in. So for now, I remain your humble host, Martina. Yes, and today I want to warmly welcome Mr. Oluduton. Oladuton. I don't know if I pronounced your name well, sir. So okay, so we'll be giving you room now to just tell us more on this the roles of women, of parents, the men, the women, and even as guidance and what they can do for their teenagers as regards reproductive health. So over to you, sir.
Okay. Good evening. Thank you for uh, having me in your program. My name, actually, let me pronounce it clearly. Sonyaolu Oludotun. That's the name.
Oludotun. Okay.
All right.
All
Um,
right.
Going into the topic of reproductive health education, even if we're not talking about reproductive health now, every one of us understand that a parent's home is usually the first agent of socialization. And
Sure.
the apart from the instincts of any child, what develops the knowledge, the awareness, life awareness of any child is what they see from home. So parents have a role in shaping the sexual orientation, the sexual knowledge, and the reproductive awareness of their children. And I believe it is on that note that your organization or this organization, Age Networks, deems it fit to reach out to the entire populace of young people all over Nigeria and beyond on this issue of reproductive health. It's actually one of the things that is needed in our society today. The young ones are missing their way. Thankfully, we have an organization like this who is rising to the occasion. All right, let's go to the teaching proper. I was just going to do it in an academic form. Teenage reproductive health is crucial aspect of adolescent development, influencing both physical and mental well-being. Reason why it is a crucial time is because it's a moment of self-awareness. That's when children or teenagers begin to see themselves as who they are, begin to appreciate the qualities of their body, begin to appreciate the functions of their body and all of that. Now, at that point in time, there is this what they call hormonal rush. It informs the way they behave. It is a restive moment of their lives. A lot of thoughts comes in, a lot of new learning comes in at that point in time. So parents are actually positioned to provide the first line of education and support on these matters. Because if they don't
Exactly.
do it, somebody else will do it. And usually, if somebody else should do it, that person will do it wrongly.
The wrong way, exactly.
So this presentation will cover the importance of parental involvement, the challenges parents face, and the strategies for effective communication. It also aims to equip parents with knowledge and tools necessary to guide their children effectively in matters of sexual and reproductive health. Now, what are the importance of reproductive health education now? Why are we on this meeting? Why are we staying on? Many of us could have gone to different places. This is actually a leisure hour, but we are here because there is an importance. Reproductive health education is essential for teenagers because it provides them with the knowledge they need to navigate the complexities of sexual development. Sexual development can be very confusing, can be very daunting for them. If it is not well managed, it can make them or it can mar them. That's why it has to be well managed. It also covers various aspects of puberty, contraception, sexually transmitted infections, and emotional well-being. Now, the contraception, someone like me will be a bit silent on contraception because contraception has to do with somebody who is already engaging in sexual activities. You understand? But the reason why we
Yeah.
cannot avoid the issue of contraception totally is that no matter how we avoid it, young ones are engaging in it. So if they are engaging in it and we stay aloof from it, they will do it wrongly. So that's why, in as much as we will not dwell so much on contraception, we will still not do without mentioning it. Early education in these areas helps to prevent adverse health outcomes, such as unintended pregnancies, which is all over the world, STIs, which is sexually transmitted infections, and promote healthier relationship and self-esteem. Self-esteem is where the problem comes. Most young people find themselves doing what they don't plan to do because of self-esteem. They believe if you don't do it, if they don't do it, they will be seen as less than what they are. And that's usually the problem. And this is an emotional part of it. So parents
Actually.
are well positioned to undo all of this. A child who is important in the face of his parents will be important outside. But a child who is
Exactly.
made to be made to be unimportant at home will carry that low or inferiority complex and take it outside. And low self-esteem can push a girl child or even a boy child into what he or she doesn't want to do.
One.
Now, this is the type of relationship that should exist between parents and their young teenagers, whether boy or
Children.
girl. Now, is this picture suggesting that men are not allowed? No, men are allowed. But the truth remains that Men, by the nature of the economics and the complexities of the life we live today, men hardly have time. So men are not exempted from this. It is the responsibility of fathers. It is the responsibility of mothers. But usually, mothers are more positioned. Now, what is the role of parents in sexual socialization? We need to first of all understand what sexual socialization is. Sexual socialization refers to the process by which individuals learn about sexuality and develop sexual attitudes and behaviors, primarily through influence of family. So parents play a crucial role in this process by providing information, setting expectation, and modeling behavior. Modeling behavior in the way they relate at home between father and mother. That's the modeling behavior. Setting expectations, sitting them down, telling them what is expected of them if they find themselves in situations like this and like that. From a young age, the child absorbs messages about modesty, privacy, and gender roles from their parents. These early lessons form the foundation of their sexual identity and behavior, making parental involvement essential. So the truth of the matter is, what children see when growing up, it forms a bulk of what they know as right or wrong. What is right in their home is what they will live through their entire life thinking as right. What they see as wrong in their home is what they will most likely see through their entire life as wrong also. So a home is the
Exactly.
model of behavior of any child.
Of any child.
What are the challenges parents face in reproductive health education? Most of them face the challenges of personal discomfort. They are unable to bring themselves out to discuss it. Some of them, they don't have the knowledge. Some of them are limited by taboo, their culture, or the societal norm that discourage such open discussion. So this can lead
Mm.
to a communication gap between the children and
Mm.
their parents.
The parents.
Now, in everything in this life, communication is essential. Somebody told me something some time ago that there are some people they are gifted in the gift of words. Somebody will tell
Mm.
you go to hell. Permit me for using such a word in this meeting, but I want to pass it. Somebody will tell you go to hell. The way they will tell you that go to hell, you will be asking for address of hell because they are good in communication. That's what I'm just trying to say now. So effective communication is also very essential. Yes, that's the truth. When somebody is good in communication, they will have even communicated negativity to you. You will think they are communicating positivity. It's because they
That's
are,
true.
it's because of the communication strategies. Now,
Mm.
coming back to this teaching now, how issues are communicated determine how issues are taken. Sometimes you are telling somebody the right thing, but the person is hearing the wrong thing because the way and manner with which you are passing the right thing cannot be accessible to the person you are passing it.
For the person you're
So
passing it
parents
to.
must devise effective communication strategies, initiating conversation with age-appropriate language. You are not going to approach a child on a discussion the way you will approach your colleague in the office in a discussion. No, you will come down to their level, to the level where the child will be able to open up. Those are the communication strategies one should develop. There are ways you talk to a child. A child is telling you he or she is doing the wrong thing, but your countenance is not judging the child at that point in time. It enables the child to speak more because the moment your countenance judges the child at that point in time, the child closes up. So the only thing you have been told is the last you're ever going to hear as a parent. So it's better as parents, be able to communicate openly with your children or with your kids. Enable them to tell you as much as possible. Devise strategies of correcting the wrong things they have told you. If they tell you wrong things today, if you address it today, they won't tell you another thing tomorrow. That is why you have to devise strategies with which you deal with issues. The child has opened up on a wrong thing he or she has done. You don't have to address it that moment. You look for ways. You can even steer up circumstances that will teach the child, not by verbally addressing, because some issues are sensitive. You don't want to address it verbally. You can steer up, how do I put it now? You can engineer certain situations. Those situations will communicate directly to the child. Parental influence on sexual decision making. Parents significantly influence their teenagers' decision. by regarding sex and relationship. The values and expectations communicated by parents shape their children's attitude towards sexual behavior. Positive parental role models who demonstrate respectful and responsible behavior can guide their teenagers in making healthier and more responsible decisions. Now, what are the roles of schools and communities in supporting parental effort? Schools have a role to play. School is regarded as the citadel, the hub of knowledge. School is regarded as the baseline of knowledge. Then community also play a vital role in supporting parents' effort to educate their children about reproductive health. I could remember when we were young, they said it takes a community to raise a child. So by collaborating with parents, school can provide comprehensive sex education that reinforces the values and information taught at home. That is, what is being taught at home, the school will supplement it. Then also what is being taught in school, the parents will have been communicated to also reinforce it at home. Community programs and resources can further support this effort by offering additional guidance and creating an environment that promotes healthy and sexual behaviors. Now, I must mention communities that we've been talking about. These things are no longer possible in our nation today because the nation itself is upside down. Everybody is running a race of survival. Fuel, transport, food, rent, education, medical care. People don't even have time for the next man. So we have found ourselves in a situation where it is all man to himself. Community bond, communal relationship, communal cooperation are fast dying in our society. In today's society, the parent of another child corrects another child, the parent will frown at that parent. So all of this, we should address all of these issues from the socio-economic perspective. Once we can fix our society, automatically we are on the way to fixing these issues of teenage pregnancy, teenage STDs, teenage unruly behavior, and all of that. All of these things are symptoms of dysfunctional societies. So for you to fix all these teenage issues, let's not forget to fix our society. The society, as it goes bad, all of these things are symptoms of it. Now, addressing the digital age. We are now in an age where children in the comfort of their room have access to everything all over the world. They can communicate with friends in Russia, China, Japan, Cambodia, Namibia, Somalia, Brazil, US, from the comfort of their room. They have access to information. But this information, trust me, that they have access to is majorly misinformation. It is the wrong version of the right that is so much available on social media. Parents must be informed of their children's online activities. They must guide them. You can't stop them, but you must guide them. Encouraging critical thinking. Enable your children to think critically about what they see. See, a lot of people just read internet and absorb what is on the internet. See, children should be taught to question everything they see on the internet. Okay, there is a post on the internet that says this, this, and that. The children should be taught to critically dissect what they read. What is right about it? What is not right about it? What are the boundaries of it? What are the other perspectives of what they have read? Anybody who drinks, swallows everything that is available on the internet, hook, line, and sinker, is already, I'm sorry to use this word in this kind of a meeting, but the person is already close to being finished. So children should be guided on critical thinking on media-related matters. What are the impact of parents' involvement in adolescent health outcomes? The truth of the matter is, studies have shown that parental involvement leads to positive adolescent health outcome. Go and see children whose parents are involved in their life positively. Those children always turn out very well. That's the truth. Research has shown it. Facts have shown it. Even ordinary observation has shown it. Children whose parents are involved in their lives, in their academics, in their emotions, in their relationship, in their feelings, in their fashion senses, most of those children end up doing well in life than those who just became adults at young age. Children who are forced to grow up from childhood on their own. Now, it is not, children growing up on their own is not even a function of parents not taking care of them. There are parents who are well-to-do, who are providing everything, but they are not there for their children. So there is a difference between catering for a child and training a child. That should be our own take-home assignment. To cater for your child is to provide everything, but to train your child is to provide and to guide and to lead and to model. There are two different things. Most parents are just catering for their children. They are not training their children. So the impact of parental involvement shows that these children always come out better, with better adolescent health outcomes, behavioral outcomes, emotional outcomes, academic outcomes. Now, how do we overcome all these societal taboos and norms that force parents from speaking to their children about all of these things? Parents can challenge and change these norms by advocating for open dialogue and normalizing this discussion. It starts with us, it ends with us. Who actually plays the norms? Human beings. Who will remove the norms? Human beings. The change begins with you, it begins with me. What we'll do is what will change. What we don't do is what remains. Now, what are the role of fathers in reproductive health education? Fathers play a crucial role in reproductive health education, yet they are often less involved than mothers. Encouraging fathers to take care in active role in this discussion provides a balanced perspective and reinforces the importance of healthy relationship and responsible behavior. Imagine a child, a daughter, who is well guided by the mother. Now, imagine the father reinforcing the guidance from the man perspective, from the perspective of the boys that will come to disturb the girl. Because the mother can only tell the girl from the female perspective. But the father can reinforce this knowledge from the boyhood perspective. The father will tell the girl what to expect from the boys and all of these things. So overcoming barriers such as discomfort and lack of knowledge is essential in promoting fatherly involvement. Fathers who engage in these conversations help to create a comprehensive support system. It becomes a total guidance from the woman's side, from the man's side. It's a total guidance. Now, what are the best practices for parents in reproductive health education? Parents can adopt several best practices to effectively communicate with their teenagers about reproductive health. This includes starting conversation early, being honest and direct, using resources like books, online tools, community programs to enhance their education efforts. So parents should also endeavor to enrich themselves. You cannot give what you don't have. Parents should attend conferences. They should attend seminars. They should read books. Now, if we are talking about parents that are maybe in the village settings or maybe less advantaged parents, they can participate in communal conferences, church conferences, Islamic organized conferences. Religious organizations, they do organize these things from time to time. These are free. They are not paid for. Parents should avail themselves, whether in the Islamic setting, the Christian setting, or the general social setting. So these are best practices. Gain knowledge in order to pass knowledge. Then in conclusion, parental involvement in reproductive health education is essential for well-being of teenagers. By taking an active role, parents can empower their children to make informed, responsible decisions that positively impact their lives. The long-term effect of proactive and supportive parental guidance include reduced rate of sexually transmitted infections, unintended pregnancy, and improved emotional and psychological health. Parents are encouraged to continue their children and seek resources to support their efforts in guiding their teenagers through this critical aspect of their development. I will step down here today as I await questions and answers from the handlers of this wonderful program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing this beautiful. I think this is really covering, as in, if not all, everything that we wanted to ask. Yeah. So we just have three questions for you, and
Please, are you still seeing my presentation slide?
yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Okay.
All right, sir.
Okay, I'm with you.
All right. So The first question we are taking from number 5, from the questions that we shared earlier. Um, that we have here. So one of it is the number 5. The fifth question is, um, what impact do you think social media and peer influence have on the teenagers' perceptions on sexual health, and how can the parents as in help to change that the negative effect of this social media influence on their children?
Well, it is very simple. Social media and peer influences will do what it will do. It must do what it will do. It
Mm,
must give perceptions to teenagers' sexual health. And most of the time, it is misinformation that they mostly get from there. However, parents can counteract this by discussing the realities behind the online content, promoting critical thinking, and providing reliable sources of information to guide their children. So it is the job of parents. Going out, children will always hear what is not right, but it is the duty of the parents to counteract this, dissolve it, and give the children the right version of the information.
Thank you so much for sharing that. You know, in the world we find ourselves, especially in this part of Nigeria, so many times parents are there, but they don't really recognize um, when their children are going astray, or when these kids are currently needing more of their guidance. Because I could remember I had a counseling with one of the young girls who was saying she's not friendly with her mother, who is supposed to be one of as in the best person, the first point of contact that she can easily reach out to communicate when she has issues. And then she walked up to the mom. She said, I'm feeling like I like this guy. Like I feel like I love this guy. What do you think I should do? And this girl was just 18. And do you know the funniest part of it? A mother looked at the girl and said, at 18, you are still in school, and then all you could think about is a boyfriend. So that led to this girl feeling like, okay, fine. She became shy, afraid, and could not just move forward. So at this point in time, she was scared away from her mom. She could not even reach out to her for any other thing. So now our question is, how can parents recognize when their teenagers need more guidance or support, and initiate conversations about their sexual health and their relationship as a whole?
Yes, I understand the question, but the issue is this. It is actually very almost impossible for parents to support their girl child going
Mm,
after and falling in love with another guy at that young age. It is almost impossible. But
mm,
shrugging them off means chasing the children away.
exactly.
There are ways you will handle the situation. Maybe you can say, are you seriously liking? Okay, so how far have you known each other? Ask questions to
Exactly.
the limit of what has happened yet. Then
Mm,
give it some time and begin to initiate conversations that will
mm,
guide the child into the right thing. At that point in time, the child feels safe with you, that you are not a judgmental parent. We have addressed this in the
very
slide,
true.
actually. That's
Mm,
communication strategies. It is true. No parent will support it. No parent will say, yeah, go and meet the guy, go and like him, go and
mm,
start doing things with the guy.
yeah.
No parent will do that. But there are ways
Mm,
of communicating
of
that sends
communicating
people
that.
away or that pushes
Mm,
people away to you. If
mm,
you do your correction in a way that people run away from you, that means you don't have enough time to change them. You must do
mm,
your correction in a way that keeps people long with you to effect your change. So parents should keep
mm,
the children long enough to them in order to effect the change, rather than rushing to correct and thereby chasing them away quickly, not enough time to change them. That's the idea.
thank you so much for sharing that, sir. Okay, so our last question for today is, What advice? Okay, sorry. Let's take it this angle. How how can cultural or religious factors influence parental guidance on the reproductive health of, their teenagers as a whole?
Well, the issue is cultural factors have been there. Religious factors is also doing its own by the side,
Mm,
based on dictates of what, or based on doctrines, religious
yeah.
doctrines,
Mm,
affect what people should discuss with their children. You know, sometimes some religious doctrine
mm,
expects people to behave a certain way automatically as if they are machines. But those things are
mm,
not real,
mm,
considering the complexities of our societies now. I believe in religion, I believe in good dictates of religion, but I believe the world is changing. The world is more complex than when those holy books were written. So right now, there needs to be flexibility in addressing issues, as long as addressing the issue is to achieve the right thing, of course, not to achieve the wrong thing. So the
mm,
flexibility that I will prescribe in this case is that doctrines should be a bit relaxed to allow some conversations. And truly, in some of in the faith that may I practice, the Christian faith, there is being a little flexibility on and on now. There is increasing flexibility. More issues are increasingly being discussed within the four walls of the church. And I believe maybe it's the same thing with our other friendly religion, the Islamic brothers and sisters. I believe it's the same thing there. The consciousness to increase or to evolve in the kinds of topic we discuss in religious gathering is increasing. So religion shouldn't bind us from addressing the right thing. Culture shouldn't bind us from addressing the right thing. So, but parents just need to balance these influences with providing comprehensive, accurate information to help their teenagers navigate their sexual health responsibly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So I don't know if you have a last word for our viewers out there as we call it up here.
Well,
A
nothing
last word
much to
of
say other than
advice.
to appreciate. Pardon?
A last word of advice to our parents out there who
I will
or
encourage our parents
guidance.
out there to be more proactive, more involved in their children. The race to find money to take care of the children is good. But if you
Mm,
eventually find the money and you will lose the children, what have you gained? Nothing. So there should be
yeah.
a balance between finding the money and raising the right child. That's what will give you peace. Because if you have all the money, at the old age, the children turned out to be
Mm,
wrong children, will you have the peace of mind? So the race to make money should be balanced equally with the race to raise complete children.
wow. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for sharing this beautiful insight with us. And we believe our parents out there who are listening to a conversation today have learned a lot from today's discussion. You see, our speaker has mentioned a lot of things, and I have to bring out some of the key highlights from this discussion today. Today, they've highlighted that it is very important for us as parents out there to be able to engage in open conversations that are honest with their kids. So you don't look at your child to be too small. Even at the age of 16, 17, 18, you look at them, they are too small. So at this point in time, you don't need to discuss anything that has to do with sexual reproductive health. Please, the time to start is now. So you don't wait until the old age where they've gone out of hand before you begin to explain or begin to say, if I had known, I would have dragged this child close to me. Just imagine a mother scolding the child simply because she said, I'm feeling this. Yes, it's right for you to scold your child, but then make out time for also draw that child close to you and speak sense into her, because at that point in time what she's thinking about is nothing but whatever comes her way now is what she's going to take, not what you're saying or what you will say after what as a follow up to whatever anyone has said out there. I remember one certain time my mom I was listening to a conversation, and a guardian anyways, and they mentioned that okay, fine, if you are to counsel your child, you don't just say uh, you're a foolish child, you are stupid, your mates are in school, your mates are in this, and you're thinking about this instead of you to be doing this, instead of you to be doing that. If you do that, you're sending that child away, because definitely you will see somebody out there that will just walk up to her, ah, she's moody, and one small boy that does not even know how to wash his boxers will just go up and say, ah, you are beautiful, you are this, your head will begin to burst as a girl child. So I'm not talking about the area of the guys. They also have these things that also affect them. Some of them, there is every tendency for you to lose them when you send them away from your side. So at every point in time, even the mistakes they make, after scolding them, even the scripture says that you should spare the rod and do what? Spoil the child. So if the child has done wrong, it is for you to correct the child. And then after the correction, what next? Make out time to also resolve that issue with the child and let the child know why you did this. Because most times the issue we are having is that you just feel, oh, I beg, I don't owe this girl or this boy any explanation. After all, I'm taking care of her. I'm a mother, or I'm a guardian, I'm whatever, whatever. Even if you feel you are the person's teacher in school, you have every right to scold the child if the child has gone wrong. But it is also important that at the same time you draw that child close to you and say, in a calm voice, this is what you have done, and you know this is wrong, so you don't have to do this again, and this is my reason for dealing with you. Now, talking about our speaker also highlighted some parts as um, parents recognizing as to parents recognizing when their teenagers or their kids needs more of their guidance. Please, I don't know. Most times we don't see this to be important. This is one important part of it. One important part of it is that you need to watch out your child. I used to tell somebody, I think I remember discussing with some of my friends, and I told them one thing I will never forget about my mom is at every point in time, even if she finished schooling, she call you back and tell you, I hope you knew what you did. And at that point in time, there will be nothing you would say that just keep quiet and listen to what they say, rather than scolding, insulting, and then there will not be solutions at the end of it to say or pointing out what this person, or how this person has gone wrong. Definitely, you don't want them to change, because there are some kids out there that will tell you that, I beg, my mom has this one, she's fond of nagging. My dad is fond of nagging. My guardian, they can't talk. It's pata is for them to flog me. I once flogged my younger one, and after that, I called him back. I said, I hope you remember why I beat you. Because he was going back to do the same thing. I said, this was why I beat you, so don't go back to it again. And this time around, you will not be lucky. And he looked at me, he smiled, he left. So after some time, he came, a friend of his in the compound came in and called, hey, let's go. And he said, no, my sister will beat me. Oh. She said my mommy said we should not do this thing. So I'm not following you, go alone. And I smiled because I was inside listening to their conversation. So what does this tell you? He said at this point in time, they were able to recognize that okay, this is the person's weak point, and then you scolded the person for that, and then you've also helped this person acknowledge that what he or she has done is wrong. And at that point in time, the person's mind is open and can absorb whatever you say to the person. So please, at every point in time, we need to draw our children close to ourselves. Pay attention to things that happens around them. Because most times, even when your child is in pain, your child is in tears, you don't know. You are only concerned about work. That was what our speaker was emphasizing on. No matter how you work, this will not resolve the fact that you have responsibilities that you owe to your kids. So at this point in time, whatever you do out there for work, also remember that you have children you need to cater for. Like they need home nurture. They need that morals at home. So you don't come back and see your child. You see your place, the house dirty, and you're sitting down. You just look at the child. You expect the child to know what to do, and the child will just look at you. Maybe even join you to watch movie, and the mother will come back and say, "This goes to the fathers." Because I've experienced that kind of thing. I remember one time my dad was sitting down in the house, and myself, my mom were not in the house. And when came back, house was scattered. We had to say, my mom had to start shouting, "You are in this house and your children scattered the whole house and you could not say anything. This is bad." And at the end of the day, he picked up from there. Since then, it has become, it's no longer something that he will just look at and neglect. He feels that, oh, at this point in time, this is what is wrong. Let them be cautioned for it. So please, it's very important to recognize, to pay attention to things that happens around your children, the changes in their behaviors, their attitude, their moods, physical development. As in, then you look at it and say, okay, fine, this is what we should bring a conversation. And then you don't do it in a way you end up getting the child angry, or because you want to correct the child or tell the person this is what you should do. So you need to bring it up in a way that this child sees that, oh, I've gone wrong, truly. So there are so many ways, and which our speaker already has highlighted. Now, talking about parental education, and see, it goes a long way in playing a significant role in shaping the teenagers' understanding of their consent, as in giving out consent, and any relationship they are going into. It gives them room for them to keep healthy relationships, because by the time you don't begin to nurture them from the early stage, definitely they will go astray. So they need at that early stage to be able to understand that, oh, fine, at this point in time, this is the time. Even if one small boy is your classmate, yes, you are a small child at 10, 11, should be able to know when it's somebody is touching you wrongly, to say no. You should be able to know some conversations that you set boundaries on. And then there should be mutual respect for your kids. You don't look at them as nothing. So I can tell you freely, most times I'm even free speaking to my dad and my mom. Why? Because he has made that forum. I can be able to, I just say, "Dad, have fun now." And you'll be like, on a normal norm, if you talk to some Nigerian parents like that, they'll bounce on your head. So we've been able to build that communication. So at that stage, I can just walk up to them and say, this is what's happening. And they could listen to me and always say, okay, fine, this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. And that part you're going is the wrong way. And we resolve the whole issue. Please, there should be mutual respect for your children. It's very, very important. Please. Don't look at them because you are the one that give birth to them, because you are the one that feed them, because you are clothing them. You feel you are on top. Yes, I'm after all, even I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm catering for your needs, so you should be below me. So please, it's very important that you have mutual respect for them. Also respect them no matter what they do. Just call them, say, I'm your mom, yes, so I will not lead you astray. This particular thing you did is wrong. Don't do it again. I think it goes well when you make build friendship, relationship with your kids. You can be able to easily share what is happening around them with you. Another thing he mentioned about information, creating a safe environment for them. Please, it's very important that you don't become too serious. Even in the house, we are always serious. Please, it's very important. Please, we appreciate that the language power you use even for your children should be one that will also respect their privacy. They should also have their privacy. They should give them all the necessary resources that will guide them get the right information as regards their reproductive health. It's very important. And then, see, our speaker said lastly that when we talk about peer influence, social media thing is there. It will always play a major role in these children. They will be influenced, yes, because they have access to it. See, sometimes we used to talk to ourselves, we say, I beg, even some things that some of our younger ones do now, we know Sabia. Yes, that's the truth because their eyes are more open. So please, you need to help them so that they'll be able to know what privacy is. And then there's some informations that are very vital that they don't need to give out on social media anyhow, especially when you talk about their body, their private body, every private information that they need to keep to themselves. They don't need to expose outside. They should be able to keep it when you are giving them that guide. So I don't know if my colleague has anything to say before we call up the discussion for today. Elsie?
Yeah, thank you very much. I really want to appreciate my professional colleague for making out time to be with us. Thank you very much, sir. I'm really grateful. Okay, to
Okay.
add to what the presenter said earlier, I want to remind our mothers and fathers, parents in general, that they should remember that they are role models to their
Mm,
children. So
that's
you
true.
should be conscious, you should be modest in your conversation and behavior because whatsoever they see you doing, that is what they'll grow up with. The way you talk, and they see the way you talk, that's the way they will also be talking, even communicating with their friends. They believe that if my mother can talk this way, that
Mm,
means it is good, it is right, that I should follow and talk
mm,
this way. So please let us be a role model to our children. And also in the aspect of communicating with our children, let us learn to come down to their level so that they can really understand what you mean. We've been in these shoes. All these things that are experiencing now, we have experienced them. So it is now your responsibility as a mother to come down to explain all these things to them so that they will make the right decision. And also parents should remember to they should learn to respect their children's privacy, especially a teenage girl. There is this thing about a teenage girl, when once she starts seeing her menstruation, she wants to be secretive. So let's just try to follow up with them, knowing that we that is how we behaved. Make her your friend. She'll be able to tell you all those things she's going through, like having menstrual pains. You just create this safe environment for her to communicate with you. Make her your best friend. That's all
mm.
I can advise parents out there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, so as we come to the end of today's talk show, I want to use a medium to also inform our viewers and some of our speaker here, and those ones are John. I can see Emmanuel. I don't know if he has any question before we call it up, but then we'll give you room to ask a question if you have any. So we're using this medium to invite every one of us here to the launch of our 10,000 Men Give Belle by Choice Challenge. Yeah, the program is starting up from the second, like 1st of September through 30th for this first phase. So it's going to extend to December. And then the room is also open. We have also shared that we have an award for those who want to win that award. Please, you can visit any of our social media platforms, and then you will see the link to fill the form, to sign up on the form to participate in the challenge, and also get your token as the winner of the challenge. Yeah, so we're also pleading with those of you out there who be interested in our work, and you know you want us to do better, you want to encourage us. Please, we welcome your support. We appreciate your kind donations and support for this program as we proceed to the start date. So we just have 2 days to go. So please feel free to reach out to us at any moment, anytime. Yeah. So if you're also interested in getting our t-shirts, a face cap, it can be way to you. So you just place your order So we have our numbers on the screen, which you can get in touch with us. Yeah, 070-480-65450 or 070-480-65486. Or you can chat us on, you can chat, you can as well send us an email at operations@agenetwork.org. So we want to speak to some of our women out there who are left with unmet sexual and reproductive health needs and you need assistance. Please, you can visit any health facility to get the needed help you need. Please, we're also pleading with us all that you know one key thing: your health is important. Your health is wealth. So that is one key word we say to our women out there. So as we leave you with this word, we are wait to see you join the challenge starting next week, Monday. Yeah, see you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you,
Please
sir.
You're
do
welcome.
enjoy
Thank
the rest
you.
of the day, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for sparing
Bye.
time
Bye-bye.
for us. Yeah, bye.